Every franchise has that moment when the future announces itself. When a young player steps onto the field and makes you forget about the expensive veteran who is supposed to be the answer. That moment doesn't come with fanfare or a press conference. It comes in the trenches, in the fourth quarter, in those crucial yards that separate winning teams from pretenders. And right now in Chicago, we're witnessing one of those moments unfold in real time. And it's changing everything we thought we knew about this Bears offense. Welcome to Bears News Fan Report, your home for the latest updates and inside information on our beloved Chicago Bears. I'm bringing you exclusive analysis on a developing situation that has Bears Nation buzzing. A situation that could fundamentally alter the identity of our offense moving forward. What I'm about to share with you involves a rookie who wasn't supposed to be here. A veteran who's fighting to keep his job. And a decision that could define the rest of our season. Stay with me because this story has layers that go way deeper than the box score. Let me paint the picture for you. The Chicago Bears currently have one of the most productive rushing attacks in the entire NFL. After 12 weeks of the season, we're ranked second in the league with 142.3 rushing yards per game. That's not a typo. Second in the league. Under Ben Johnson's offensive system, we've become a team that can impose our will on the ground, control the clock, and set up everything else we want to do offensively. This is a massive shift from where we were just a year ago, and it's exactly the kind of identity that championship teams build around. But here's where things get interesting. If you remember back to the offseason, there was a loud conversation happening throughout Bears Nation about the running back position, specifically about DeAndre Swift. A lot of fans were calling for the team to replace him with an early round draft prospect. Names like Ashton Jeanty and Tre'Veyon Henderson were being thrown around as the future of our backfield. The sentiment was clear. Swift wasn't the answer, and we needed to invest premium draft capital to find our franchise running back. Ryan Poles and the front office heard those concerns, but they took a different approach. They didn't spend a day 1 or day 2 pick on a running back. Instead, they waited until the 7th round and selected a player out of Rutgers named Kyle Monangai. At the time, it seemed like a depth pick, a developmental prospect who might contribute on special teams and provide emergency carries if needed. Nobody was projecting Monangai to be a significant factor in year 1. Nobody was talking about him as a potential starter. He was just another late-round pick trying to make the roster. But here's the thing about football. Talent reveals itself regardless of draft position. And Monangai has been revealing his talent in a big way. Through 12 weeks, Monangai has carried the ball 99 times for 461 yards and 4 touchdowns. More importantly, he's averaging 4.7 yards per carry, which is exactly the kind of efficiency that Ben Johnson demands from his running backs. That number matters because it means Monangai isn't just getting garbage time carries against tired defenses. He's producing at a high level consistently, moving the chains, and making explosive plays when the opportunity presents itself. For a 7th-round rookie, that's exceptional production. For any running back, it's the kind of performance that demands more opportunities. Now, before we go any further, let's talk about DeAndre Swift, because this isn't about tearing down a player who has given us solid production. Swift signed a 3-year, $24 million contract in 2024, and for most of the season, he's lived up to that investment. He's carried the ball 142 times for 649 yards and 4 touchdowns, averaging 4.6 yards per carry. Those are respectable numbers. Those are the numbers that Ryan Poles expected when he brought Swift to Chicago. Swift has experience, he knows how to pass protect, and he's been a reliable option in the passing game. He's done his job. But then came Week 12 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That game changed the entire conversation around our running back situation. Swift carried the ball 8 times for just 15 yards. 8 carries, 15 yards. That's less than 2 yards per carry. And to make matters worse, he fumbled. Meanwhile, Monangai was making plays, running with power and vision, showing the kind of explosiveness that gets fans out of their seats. The contrast was stark, and it didn't go unnoticed by anyone watching that game. After that performance, I decided to do something I don't usually do. I went directly to Bears Nation and asked a simple question. How should our running back depth chart look moving forward? Should Swift remain the starter? Or is it time to give Monangai the keys to the backfield? The response was overwhelming. The numbers came back crystal clear. Bears fans want Kyle Monangai to be the guy. Not a committee approach, not a split. They want Monangai as RB1, getting the majority of the carries, being the focal point of our ground game. That's a significant shift in sentiment, and it reflects what we're all seeing on the field. Here's why this matters so much. Running back by committee can work, but the best offenses in the NFL typically have one guy they trust to carry the load. One guy who gets the rhythm, who wears down the defense, who gets better as the game goes on. When you're constantly rotating backs, you lose some of that momentum, some of that physical dominance that comes from feeding one player 20-plus carries. Monangai has shown he can handle that workload. His college tape at Rutgers showed a back who could carry the ball 30 times a game and still be effective in the fourth quarter. That durability and consistency is exactly what we need. The timing of this situation is also crucial. We're entering the final stretch of the season, the games that will determine whether we make the playoffs and what kind of seed we get. This is when you need to know who your guys are, when you need to establish your identity and ride with it. If Monangai is truly the more explosive, more dynamic option right now, then we need to find out. We need to give him the opportunity to show whether he can be that bell cow back over a sustained period. The only way to know is to give him the touches. There's also the financial aspect to consider, though I know that's not what fans want to hear. Swift is making good money, and there's always pressure to justify those investments by keeping the veteran on the field. But good organizations don't fall victim to the sunk cost fallacy. If the younger, cheaper player is outperforming the expensive veteran, you have to make the tough decision. You have to do what's best for the team right now, not what makes the contract look better. Ryan Poles has shown he's willing to make those tough calls, and this might be another one of those moments. Looking ahead to Week 13, we've got the Philadelphia Eagles coming to town. That's a tough, physical defense that's going to test everything about our running game. This is exactly the kind of game where you want your most explosive back getting the majority of the touches. You want the guy who can break tackles, find the crease, and turn a 3-yard gain into a 15-yard gain. Based on what we've seen recently, that guy is Kyle Monangai. The question is whether the coaching staff is ready to fully commit to that reality. Ben Johnson has been masterful in his play calling this season, and I trust that he's going to put the best players in position to succeed. If that means Monangai becomes the primary back, then that's what needs to happen. If it means a true committee where both backs get significant work, then we'll see how that plays out. But one thing is clear, the dynamic has shifted. Monangai has earned the right to be more than just a change of pace back. He's earned the right to compete for the starting job, and based on recent performance, he might have already won that competition. This is one of those situations where I'm genuinely excited about what it means for our future. Finding a productive running back in the 7th round is incredible value. If Monangai continues to develop and becomes our long-term answer at the position, that's a massive win for Ryan Poles and the scouting department. It frees up resources to address other needs. It gives us a young, cost-controlled player at a premium position. And it shows that this organization knows how to evaluate talent regardless of where they're drafted. For D'Andre Swift, this is a challenging moment, but it's also an opportunity. Competition brings out the best in players. If Swift responds to this challenge by elevating his game, by showing the explosiveness and vision that made him a valuable free agent signing, then we all win. If Monangai continues to outperform him, then we have our answer. Either way, the Bears are in a good position because we have multiple capable backs who can contribute. So here's what I want to know from all of you. Do you think Kyle Monangai should be our starting running back moving forward? Should we stick with D'Andre Swift and let this play out naturally? Or do you want to see a true committee approach where both backs get equal opportunities? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I want to hear from real Bears fans who are watching every snap and analyzing this team as closely as I am. Your perspective matters, and this community thrives on passionate, informed discussion about our Chicago Bears. Before I let you go, if this analysis gave you insights you won't find anywhere else, if it helped you understand the bigger picture of what's happening with our running back situation, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Bears News Fan Report, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We're here every single day bringing you the latest news, the deepest analysis, and the most passionate coverage of your Chicago Bears. This is more than just a channel. It's a community of die-hard fans who live and breathe Bears football. Let's keep building this together. See you in the next video with more news, more analysis, and more Bears. Bear down.